Bonzo and I are getting ready to go have a little fun up the gorge for a couple nights, so stay tuned. What do you think, dude? We gonna have some fun? You gonna get some squirrels? I know they're up there. There's some squirrels up there. We'll get them.
Crazy. Wild man. Crazy boy. Wild man. Crazy baby.
New tarp, AquaQuest 10x10. It's about 3.5 pounds, but I think it is well worth it. I was considering purchasing a canvas tarp, but I mean, an 8x8 alone, I mean, that's at least twice the weight of this AquaQuest. Spoiled rotten, aren't you?
Yeah. A.M.
It's one of them presidential plants, isn't it? Good job, Bonzo. He's really letting her have it. Going to get some water. You might be thinking, what's this idiot? Why is this idiot walking all this way to get water when there's water right there? Well, see, I'm going to a water source that feeds into this river, and there's probably hundreds of those sources upstream from me. And you know, all those sources are feeding into the river, and there could be some nasty contaminants flowing in from many of those sources. And I don't know, if you have to, I mean, if that's your only water source, of course, grab it from the river. But I don't know, I feel like the water I'm going to is a little fresher and a little cleaner. And of course, there could be a dead deer carcass upstream from where I'm getting it, but it's only one source that could be drawing something bad down instead of hundreds. I don't know if that makes any sense or if I even explained that the right way, but I don't know, I'm kind of funny. That's just the way I do things, and that's just my opinions on stuff. So I'd rather get from right here, this water source that is feeding down into the river, instead of the river, which is being fed by hundreds of water sources, 100 times as likely to get some nasty contaminant in there that you don't want. Spring coming straight out the rock in the mountain. You can drink right from the tap there. And you might be able to, you know, some people drink from these streams and things, but if you have to, you know, that's one thing. If I had to drink from it, if I had no way to boil it or clean it or, you know, filter the water, then, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's better than dying of thirst. But I have a Sawyer squeeze and I like to use it. Better safe than sorry. Maybe I'm just not too much of a tough guy. What's my bub doing? Huh? You a wild man? You on the hunt for something? What you hunting? Easy. So last night I used my 40-degree bag and a merino wool sleeping bag liner, and I would say it definitely got down probably 40 or maybe even probably around 40 last night. Maybe a little cooler with the wind, but I had my tarp set up the right way so it didn't wind was coming downstream. So the way I got that thing angled stayed pretty cozy, especially with the fire here. But tonight, it's supposed to get a lot colder. I wouldn't even put it past it getting around freezing right down here by the river. So I'm going to extend my fire pit here. I'm going to extend some rocks out here today, build it out a little bit, and find some really good hardwood, some big rounds to stack in there before bed and try and keep that thing going all night. And the heat will just get on up in there. I stayed cozy last night, but I could feel it when the fire went out or when it got low. And I just, I'd wake up occasionally and put more wood on it. But I was kind of checking out. So this is that's some locust there. I could probably saw this off I could turn this into 3 sections. 1 and 2, you got your third. And that'd probably do me pretty good for the night. Worst comes to worst, if I get too cold, I just have to wake up and sit by the fire. I don't have to sleep. I mean, it's nice to sleep, but you gotta do what you gotta do. There was a time once when Bonzo and I were out, and it was about 0 degrees out during the day, and we were out there hiking, and we stayed out for like 2 weeks. And I remember I had to get up in the middle of the night because Bonzo's little butt was shaking, and I ended up wrapping him up in my sleeping bag and got a big fire going, probably like 2 in the morning, and just waited till the sun came up for it to warm up just a tad. But he stayed warm and I stayed warm. We had to do what we had to do. But it's up to me to keep him safe. So I'll do what I got to do. But I think it's not going to get that cold tonight. Build this fire pit out a little bit. Stack some of them locust logs up in there. And we'll stay cozy. I could probably switch this little tarp setup to a lean-to style. And but I kind of like being trapped in. That heat will get up in there and keep me kind of cozy. So I'm gonna just work on it throughout the day and just have fun. And we'll see what it brings us. Yeah, buddy. Pecker. Alright. Yeah. We'll leave it up in there for a little while longer. It's a good spot. Up on that hot rock, that rock will kind of heat it up from the bottom. Like a stove. That's my stove right there. One of my other videos, if y'all watch my videos, I cooked a steak on a rock. My brother and I did. I believe it was this rock right here. Got that sucker hot and used it as a hot plate. And it was good. Alright, I gotta get to work. What, you want this? Huh? Oh boy. You're crazy. Look at him go. Ninja. Mountain ninja. Aren't you? You're pretty sweet with a bow staff, Bonzo. Fun for hours. Man, we gotta get some wood. We gotta get to work. We can't play. I know. Time to work. You guard for the bears and I'll get the wood. Alright? Watch this. Bonzo knows. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. See that? No joke. He's on it. There we go. Now it's a good 4 foot across. Stay cozy. Carving a war club. There have been some, this is some hop hornbeam, ironwood. There's a couple wormholes in there, but I'll probably just, when it's complete, I'll fill it in with some epoxy. But I guess I'll show y'all when it's done. It won't be done anytime soon. But I took a tree that was on a riverbank, and maybe I'll put a picture up on the screen of the tree before it turned into this. But basically, it was sitting at the riverbank, off the riverbank like this. That's the root ball, and the tree was coming up. Boing! And I guess Native Americans up around the Great Lakes, I don't know, I've heard a lot of different things, but I believe that's how they would create their war clubs, is from trees along the riverbank with the root ball. And this sucker is solid. Now I cut it from green. It's already starting to get a couple splits up through there. As long as they're running with the grain, like right in there. I mean, I could have let this thing season for a year, hanging somewhere in the shade, but I don't know, it'll give it more character. But I'll just fill some of this in with epoxy when it's all complete. Probably carve a face on the ball here. Maybe do some carving through the handle. But also, while I've been out here, so check this out. Another way to make them. Hopefully it's all in focus. I'm gonna come back and get this one day. I'm not gonna bring it back with me. There's some wormholes in there, but there's another war club in there. Hopefully. See how it goes. This was a branch, obviously, coming off the other way, so you want the grain to be flowing with the ball. So I wouldn't want to just get a big piece of tree, a big round, and cut this ball into it, because there's going to be, cut-offs with the grain. It wouldn't work. I don't know how to explain it right. I have to show you with a piece. But something like this, or the root ball, the grain is flowing with it, it'd make it a lot stronger, from what I've gathered. But I'll come back and get this one day. Leave that there to keep on seasoning. Keep on at this. New power tools. Can't imagine them back in the day using just stone tools for something like this, but I guess at one point they did. It's a little hollow right up in here, but if I fill that in with epoxy, I'll strengthen it right back up. This thing is solid. Ironwood is no joke. Once this seasons, I mean, I almost had to shape this thing while it's still fairly green, because once it seasons, I've tried to carve walking sticks. Well, I have carved walking sticks out of seasoned ironwood that had been floating down the river, and it's no joke. It's slow going. Solid. Gonna get cold tonight. All this locust is about dried up pretty good. Be able to make a nice long fire here. Another little thing that I've been doing is, so that's a sniper veil, but you could use shemagh, anything really. Something's creeping around over there. Isn't it, Bonzo? You watch my back, baby. I'd like to think maybe some of that, if there's ash blowing out of the fire and coals, it'll hit that veil before it'll hit my tarp. And I haven't had any holes in that tarp. I mean, last night I didn't get any. I'm gonna build a pretty good fire tonight, but it's a nice, thick, durable tarp. It's pretty sweet. We'll see how it does, but by putting that little veil up there, I'd like to think maybe some of the ash and coal blowing out is going to hit that veil instead of landing on the tarp and burning holes. It's just a thought, little hack. Maybe it works, maybe it won't. We'll find out. I'm going to get back to carving. Athletic greens and a cigar from my friend Duffy. Breakfast of Champions. Thank you, Duffy. These are delicious. Darkness. Bonzo dark. I woke up like this. Made it to the end. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.